Hey everybody. So today we're going to make, I think they're called like half moon wallets. It's a very simple project, but a lot of you requested it a couple of weeks back when we asked for things you'd like to see us make, and we figured it's mostly found objects you can use to make it with a little bit of leather, and so we're going to show you how to make one. So this design has been really popular on Instagram, Pinterest, floating around for a while now. They're fairly simple. I will caution you that it's definitely a form over function design because the whole thing is a half circle, so you have a lot of extra room, but they look really cool. So, and they're a fun project. The only thing you're going to need special is a button stud, and the rest is just all fairly simple tools. So what I have here, I found this old tin that we had in the shop. You just want to make sure that you can kind of fit cards because we're going to use like half of it. So that works. This is a little over 5 inches across, and I have some 3/4 ounce, this is just veg tan leather. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to trace 1.5 of this shape. So we need one full one. This is going to be the back with the flap. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to trace like a half one, probably a little more than a half so I can trim it down. Cutting circles can always be a little bit difficult. You probably aren't going to want to use one of those pizza cutter things. I'm just going to go in with a number 2 X-Acto blade because you get, the blade kind of bends a little bit and you can get that curve. You can work this with like a head knife too if you want. So I'm just going to go in and just slowly work my way around. And if you're fairly new to this, you can use like a tumbled leather or an oiled hand leather. Those are a little bit easier to cut through, and this design they'll work really nice with too. So what I'm going to do to figure out where I want to cut this across, because this is the exterior and this is going to be the interior, and then this will make kind of our flap, right? So we need to take this one, and I'm just going to use a card. And you have to remember you're going to have some stitching here. So we're going to want to go about right there. I honestly am not sure how to cut this. I'm just going to cut it. So we'll go like that, I guess. Just cut straight across. And that way, when we put this here, our cards will go in and fit, and then we have a little flap down, and we'll put our button stud for a closure there. Now, the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little curve. Because this is going to be kind of deep, it'll be kind of nice to be able to, you don't have to reach in to get your card. So the way I do curves freehand, is I'm going to take this same thing that we used. I have my cutting board here, and I've lined up the edges with intersections on the cutting board. There's a 1/2 inch grid. And what I do is I take this curve, and you don't have to really do much math. You just have to make sure that you have the same amount of space on either side, and that'll tell you this is centered. So I have an inch here before this curve intersects with the top of our piece, and I have that same inch over here. And because it's a perfect circle, I can just trace that curve, and we know it's going to be nice and even. So now I'm just going to cut this out, and that'll allow us to slide our cards in and then have a little thumb thing to grab them back out. So at this point, we're ready to stick this together. If you have a pattern, now I don't have a pattern, I'm kind of doing this freehand. If you make a pattern, you can, of course, you would put the hole in your pattern so you could install your button stud now. This is going to be shallow enough where I'm just going to install it after it's all sewn up and we can fold it, and I'll show you how to kind of position your snap if it's your first time making something like this and you're trying to figure out how it works. The one thing is I am going to burnish this top. because once we sew everything together, we're not going to be able to reach it. So this is just a little bit of gum trag. You can use water as well. I'm going to put a little bit on. I'm going to let it tack up a little bit. It's not glue, it just kind of, just let it get a little, let it dry out a tad. And then I'm just going to use some canvas to burnish like we always do. So our next step is to just glue everything up. Now we're going to use, this is weldwood, but we can use barge contact cement as well. You can use basting tape, the double stick sewing tape. That works too. Because this is a circle, you can kind of just put it wherever and it's going to be centered. And I'm just going to use my scratch awl. If you want to use a pencil to lightly mark underneath, right underneath, so you can't see it when it's done. I'm just going to use my scratch awl to mark where this comes up to, so that way I know where to glue around. And we're going to glue on both sides, because with contact cement, you want to glue on both sides, let it dry, and then you get the best bond. So once our glue is dry to the touch, it'll be maybe a little bit tacky on both. We're just going to come in and we're going to set these down and stick them together. And then I like to use just a flat face hammer. Give that a tap to set the glue. So before we stitch everything up, I like to get my edge nice and straight. And we're not working with a straight line, which we usually are with wallets and bags and stuff. We're working with a curve, which can be tricky if you've never done it before. I don't usually sand curves with a drum sander or anything. Just use a little bit of sandpaper. This is like 200 grit, 220. And you want to kind of work in sections and do pretty big sections. Just go back and forth. This will keep your curve consistent, because if you just do little sections and then like this, you can get like flat spots. So I'm just gonna, almost like a windshield wiper, just back and forth. And it might take a little bit of time. If you do have a high spot, you can just kind of spot treat that, but then make sure you go back over it and blend it back in. Because the goal is we want to keep this as circular as we can. So now I'm just going to set my stitch line, and I'm just going to go around with my dividers, calipers, or whatever you want to call them. And that's about it. And now we're going to punch, and punching these is a little bit different, so come over here with me, I'll show you how to do it. We're using a Weaver stitching chisel set. This is a 5mm set. And normally what you'll do is you'll use the biggest stitching chisel that you can get away with, because you want nice straight lines. This is a complete curve, so you're kind of stuck with either the one chisel or the two-prong chisel. I'm going to use the two-prong chisel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-mark out all of my holes, and it is a little more time-consuming than doing a straight line, but I'll show you why I'm going to do that when we start punching. Having all these laid out quickly, it allows me to make sure everything is spaced even and lands where I want it, but it also allows me to punch a little bit faster. So now that I have everything marked out, I can go through and punch 2 new holes every single time. If you didn't lay out everything out, what you would have to do to make sure your spacing was even is you would punch 2 holes, and then you would put the first prong into the existing hole so that you could punch a single hole. With everything laid out, I can pull my prongs up and I can put my chisel in 2 new holes. And because we're stuck with the two-prong, because the whole thing's a curve, it'll make it much quicker to just go through and be punching 2 new holes every single time. So now I'm just going to tidy up the edges and do a little burnishing. You don't have to do this if you don't want. And then we'll install the button. I think we're good to go. we need to install the button stud, which is how this is going to stay closed. I have my little circle guy here lined up, centered. What I did was I made sure that the stitch lines are right about even on one of the grid pieces so that I know it's straight this way. And then I'm going to use the center line here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure up, and we're punching the hole right now that the button stud will attach the button stud. And I'm only going to go up about maybe 5/8. I'm going to do about a 1/2 inch loop, maybe 5/8, right there. Right? And then I'm going to use, oh, I think my punches are in the other room. I'm going to use a rotary punch to punch these holes, and you don't want to punch a hole that's as big as this button stud. You want to punch a hole that's about as big as the, I don't know, the post here, because then we're going to cut a little slit that will allow it to get around this button stud. But if it's as big as button stud, it'll just come on and off. We want the leather to close in around this button stud so that it stays closed. So I'm using this setting, it's setting 1. This is an old rotary punch. I'm not sure what brand it is or anything, but this is about the same size as this post. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to punch my hole centered on that mark that I made. And the next thing I'm going to do, and again, if you have a pattern, you don't need to do this. You can just make the pattern, put the holes in, punch them before this is all assembled. But we don't have a pattern. We're showing you how to make it with just found objects. So I'm just going to fold this shut, and I'm going to make a light little mark here. Right? Then I'm going to go in with my ruler and just make sure that this is pretty centered. And we have about 5 inches, and that's about 2.5. See, I can move it over just a little bit. Then this is the screw that we need to put in through here. So I want to go to my rotary tool, or if you're using, if you're using regular punches, just find the punch that's the size of the screw. I don't like to use anything much bigger because then you have a lot of wiggling happening. But I'm using a rotary punch because we've already assembled this. And with this rotary punch, I can just slide in here and easily just punch that hole. So once we've done that, we put our screw in, and all we do is just screw this button stud on. So if we go to shut our little case here, you can see it doesn't fit because this hole isn't big enough. That's good though. What we're going to do is we need to cut a slit. Now they make punches for this. We have one, I just can't find it. It's basically a hole with a line, and what that's going to allow this to do is it's going to flap up to go over, but then close in so it stays shut. You want to cut the slit in the direction that the leather is going to be pulling. You don't want the slit below it because then it'll come undone. So that means our little line here is going to have to go upwards, and I'm just going to freehand it. You can use a ruler if you'd like, and I'm going to go up maybe about 1/4 inch and just cut straight down, being careful not to cut into the other side. Once we have that done, there we go, and it stays shut. And here we go. I'm going to be honest with you, this is a lot cooler looking than I thought it was going to be. It fits cards perfectly. You can put coins in there, you can do whatever you want. So yeah, simple project, very stylish, and hopefully it's simple enough. Give it a go. It's a really good beginner project, but it's a little bit elevated in the end with the curve and the design and stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.